Hello and good morning. I'm just hanging out in my studio this morning, getting ready to do some warm-up drawings before I start my day. Um, just figured I'd do a little streaming. I know I stream, uh, a couple of times a week, but I thought it'd be a little fun right now to do another one. So I'm going to be doing some sketching in a few minutes, but just wanted to give a little chat about some stuff. We'll talk about a few things. Nothing crazy. There's not a lot of updates to give on what's going on with me art wise. I just I'm doing some freelance work. I'm going to be working on a comic later today and probably finish it tomorrow, hopefully. I just finished part of a project for a client yesterday and waiting to hear back to move on to the next part. If you guys follow me, you know that I injured my elbow a little bit ago, so I'm taking a lot more breaks. I don't know what I did. I'm starting to think I have tennis elbow. I got to go see a doctor about it. I do have this brace I've been wearing on my arm while I draw. I'm going to put it on right now. But, sorry, I'm just putting it on. Yeah, I gotta make a doctor's appointment, but, we have snow where I live. It's snowing today. I don't want to kind of go out right now. But, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be starting to draw. Let me share my drawing, my screen here. Why is it doing it that way? Apple. They changed up how StreamYard looks in the background. I haven't really done a share screen since it changed. So here I am in Photoshop, and what I've been doing is, even though Dax Photon is my next big project that I'm working on, I'm always thinking about the next stuff. And I was doing some sketches last night. Last night I had a really long day. I probably worked from 8 or 9 in the morning to about 8:30 p.m. just straight. And the only breaks I had were like making lunch and dinner and maybe a half hour break for the most part, but I worked through lunch and dinner. But yeah, last night while I was kind of calming down from the day, laying in bed, I had my sketch pad, and I drew a couple of old characters, and I'm redesigning their costumes. I'm not going to give names, but that's a character. And these are characters I created years ago. Here's another one I was playing with and working on. I didn't like the way the guy at the top was coming, so I stopped the drawing. I figured I'll do it later. And here's another character. These are all characters, like I said, I created from my childhood, and I loved the. Thought I hit the wrong button, and I wanted to kind of sketch and play with them a little bit this morning while they're still fresh in my head. And the last guy I showed you is the first guy I'm going to draw. He's a character I created called Gold Star. A lot of my stuff, and this is what kind of inspired it. Yesterday I shared on Facebook that John Wesley Shipp is going to play Jay Garrick on the Stargirl series in this season. And I've always, first of all, I loved season 1. I thought it might be the best interpretation. Well, not interpretation, but the best CW intro to a series. And I really love the Golden Age characters. So I was thrilled to hear about I was thrilled to hear about John coming on that. I think he played a great Flash in the 90s. I think he played a great Flash as Jay Garrick. So, whoops, sorry, I see Sebastian says, good morning, Sebastian. Thanks for joining me. So, I was very happy to hear that. I will say the guy who played Jay Garrick before he was the bad guy in Flash, he turned out to be the bad guy. I kind of liked his costume a little more. It was a little more traditional, but I'm thrilled that he's coming in. So my characters I design are always based kind of on Golden Silver Age of comics. I really love that era. And, you know what, let's put him flying. So let's move him over here. So that's why these characters kind of popped up in my head here. And I know I always kind of go cartoony, which is fine. It's just... let's have maybe his hair go up like this. Maybe. So let's turn his body like so. We'll give him the traditional Superman pose there. Mm-hmm. I know his body should be a little longer from where the elbow bends, but maybe not. So Goldstar really is my Superman. Actually, let's point that there. I'll go ahead and fix that. So yeah, I mean, I got a lot of stuff planned. I mean, right now Dax really is my go-to story that I'm working on. But you know, every now and then I do like to kind of break away from it. And let's get his cape. One, two, three, four. Cut that off. His thumb will go there. And actually, I shouldn't have colored in his hair. I think I gave him blonde hair originally. But that's my Goldstar. Flying. I always liked his design. When I created him originally, he was more sci-fi, took place in outer space. But I brought him to my Earth team, which I'm still recreating the team name, because when I was a kid, whatever team I created now has been used for the name. Okay. But yeah, I'm so tomorrow, you guys, if you follow me, you know that I do my storytelling Saturday, and I do have a plan for tomorrow. I got to confirm with a friend of mine to make sure he's coming on, but if he's coming on, it's going to be a very fun, maybe it'll be a little over an hour. You won't want to miss it. And today I'm going to be finalizing the ideas, not the ideas, but the comics that I'm going to talk about in my comic review. And I know the web comic I want to chat about. I know whoops, I know I know it all. I'm all set for, excuse me, tomorrow, whether my friend can do it or not. So, but for what I want to do, I do need a guest. Should be 3. So I got that. What time is it, by the way? Okay, I got time. I'm gonna stop this stream today by 10 a.m. I don't want to be on too long because I do have a lot of work to do. Also, while I've been working over the last few days, I've been, I usually have Netflix on or some kind of streaming service. And over the last, I don't know, let's say 3 days, I've been watching, what's the show? Some of my favorite episodes of Smallville, which I forgot how much I really enjoyed that show. Still holds up to me. Now, the other character, the female character I drew, definitely a kind of acrobatic character. Actually, her costume is really based on, maybe I'll bring this down like this. I'm always kind of playing with redesign, but yeah, that looks like it could work. And so that acrobatic character, when I created her, she's an adult character. I wanted a powerful, and this is when I was a kid. I was probably created her when I was in 7th or 8th grade. I wanted this powerful female hero, kind of like Wonder Woman. But I was always such a fan of Robin. I said, what if I had a female Robin? And that's kind of where the acrobatics came in for her, because Dick Grayson was an acrobat. Then that's where her costume comes in from. And I hope to share this with you guys very soon. Like, more about it. I mean, I'm not gonna, Dax, like I said, is my main thing right now. And and I've never really given her a name, but I put the A on her chest for acrobat. So maybe that'll be her name. And I kept her hair short. Let me see if I'm missing anything. All right, yeah. So she does have kind of this other color, tells her costume apart. And I was thinking, because like I said, she's based on an acrobat, and she's got these kind of like a acrobat leotard on. And very tiny shoes, something that acrobats might wear. I thought more design, but I like to keep it simple, so I'm still playing with her color scheme. But I color in different parts already right now, just in black, so I can see the difference in what I'm doing, or in pencil. Kind of say this will be this will be that. Now I want to actually fix the leg there, so it looks like she has some type of design there. And this should get thinner as it gets down to the bottom. Same thing here. The other character I showed earlier today, let me move him over. Let's put him over here just because of how his cape is. Let's move her. We'll put her right here. And then the other character. Now, the other character might be one of the first characters of superheroes I ever created. Originally, I called him Blackwing. I don't know if I'm going to keep the name, but the reason I called him Blackwing was, like I said, I'm a big Dick Grayson fan, and I loved Nightwing so much. I even based his costume kind of on, what people would refer to as the disco Nightwing. Although I never called it that. I don't even know what it was. But I also liked the idea. I loved the $6 Million Man growing up, so I loved the idea of bionics. And although we can't use that term because of the, reasons of copyrights, kind of wanted this cyborg almost, super spy that was a talented, fighter, ninja kind of character, and that's where I get Blackwing from. Now, I know there's characters named Blackwing. I know, from what I understand, I can keep the name as long as I don't call the comic Blackwing, but I haven't decided if I'm going to change his character's name yet. So I've made a few costumes for this guy, and like I said, I'm gonna draw one of the newer ones, but originally his costume kind of had these high, collars, kind of like the original Nightwing. But what I've tended to do since then is I've kind of kept a little bit of that look, not a lot of it. Well, he doesn't have a traditional. It's very utility belt like, you know. And kind of followed. I think I brought it down. Did I bring it? No, that's not how it looks now. I'm going to add the collar to it, but not as high. And he has his throwing stars, and I took this design from Quick Kick from G.I. Joe when I was a kid. I always loved the idea of having throwing stars up there. Let's just go back to that for now. He's got his swords behind him. He's got his guns here. And let's bring it down. I think I had something like that on him. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Let's erase one of his swords. So if it's going to be in his left hand, he's taking it out of his right side there. You know, I gotta actually be honest. I had a guest the other night, and for some reason I can't remember his first name right now, but his last name was Shalifer. So if you guys check out my Get in Tune with Shalifer, who has a thing called Tesla in Space, he gave me this really cool tip. I never thought of this, so I'm gonna give myself the full screen for a second. Oh, actually, I see George commented. Thanks, George. Thank you for enjoying my my style. So we were talking about his inking style on this comic that he has, Tesla on Mars, which looks great. It's a Kickstarter. Definitely go check it out and donate if you can. Anyway, I was asking about how he got such straight lines inking. Does he use the line tool? How does he work? And he said he just puts a ruler up on his Cintiq. And I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. Now, I'm a bit of a crazy guy, especially with how much I've spent on my Cintiq. I don't want to ruin it. So what I did is I took an old ruler of mine and I glued some felt to the back. And now it's on my Cintiq, and I use it to draw these great straight lines. And I've never really used my templates on my computer before because I was afraid of scratching my my Cintiq. So I'm going to be taking my extra French curves and some other tools that I have and just be putting felt on the back of it. And the reason I used yellow is because I still want to be able to see the numbers. So I chose a color that I could. Now it looks green because it's a blue ruler, but I could still go through the numbers and see them if I wanted to. So I'm going to use that. Whoa, hold on, drop my pen. I'm going to use that right now. We're back on that. And I'm putting my ruler in, and let's get back into Photoshop. And Now it's kind of thick. I should go with a smaller pen size, but I'm just going to go very lightly. And you guys can see, I should put it down here so I can kind of judge how, not too thin. I'm still getting used to where the ruler needs to be on my, yeah, that's better. So, and it's supposed to be like a ninja sword. So there we go. And that ruler really was a great idea. I like my felt tip on there just because I don't want to scratch. But you guys can see how that works out really nicely. I've been playing around with it for a while, and I want to kind of curve that point right there. All right. And I think that looks really good. Now, because it's sketch time, I'm not going to do any some inking because I need to get to work, and that's why I want to be done by 10, which it almost is. So this right here is are three of the team that I've developed. I also have so basically I have this whole team, and obviously I base it on either the Justice League or kind of the Avengers, more the Justice League because again, DC guy. So that's my Superman. The girl is my Wonder Woman, and this guy here is kind of my my Batman. But he's based on Nightwing. He's based on Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. He's based on the $6 Million Man. There's a lot of stuff that I kind of combined it in there with him. I have a character that's a magic user based on, not based on, but, inspired, I should say, not based on. I'm not ripping off their stories or anything, but, I got a Dr. Fate-like character. I have a Green Lantern type of character. I have a Hawkman type of character. So I just took some of my favorite characters and created my own team. It's obvious to see once you know the characters who they were inspired by. But yeah, so after Dax, or while I'm working on Dax, this is one of the stories that are going to be in development. And let me just change up some color here real quick just so we can see the difference in his costume. So yeah, these are some of the characters. Because I like Dr. Fate so much, I'll show you that guy. Now, he's Native American. I've based him as a kind of a Native American shaman. And he was created around the time that Blackwing was. But he's not but he didn't start off this way. This came later on when I felt I wanted to, make my characters a bit more diverse. And, he's got his hood. His face, his open should be actually a little bigger here. His face is much more flat there. And let's keep one of his cloak down, this one up so we can kind of see over. Let's bring out the... Let's bring this cloak down. I don't want to have to draw all of it. Let's just bring this in here. When designing this character, what I really wanted to do was really try to bring in some Native American design, and I looked at a bunch of different Native American tribal art, and to see what symbols and stuff they used. And his colors are kind of all, earth tones and and I always gave him the name. Whoops, up here. I always gave him the name Nightwalker, because the original character was kind of part of the team with Blackwing. They kind of had the same abilities, but he was the main, I guess, hero of the story. And I took the idea when I created him from what's it called? That animals are a big part of the culture, and when I created him, originally he had more his boots were much more Native American in nature. And then I decided, after talking with a friend of mine, that they should be almost cowboy-like. Not because... I just think it was more functional, and it was less for me to draw, and I think it just made sense. So this right here, with a better jawline, so let me erase this here and give him a better jawline, is my Nightwalker. And a friend of mine wrote a 3-page Blackwing story and a 12-page story that deals with Nightwalker, Blackwing, and my Hawkman-like character is also kind of a combination of with Captain America. And so I have most of that drawn out. This is more of a sash right there. And last but not least, I'll give you the Hawkman Captain America. His design changes every now and then, because this is why I haven't finished the comic, because I wanted to change his design a bit. And I've drawn everything for the comic except this guy. So he's a little more lanky. I'll make him flying here. But this is the current design I got on him. Oh, thanks, George. I just saw the comment. You know what? It's funny. For some reason, StreamYard will show, when I stream to my Get in Tune page, it'll show all my comments that I'll get in tune. But when I stream also to my regular Facebook page, it doesn't show my Facebook comments. So they're actually, I have my Facebook up on another screen, so I may not see it as much. So those would be his wings, but he's got this. And this comes down. It's definitely Hawkman-like, but no, that's not it. Wait, that's not the design. That's the old one. Give me 1 second. Let's delete all that. I'd have to look him up. Interesting. I forgot his design. So let's just go with whatever comes up in my head now. So let's bring him in like so. We'll, he's, like I said, because he's kind of Captain America-like, Hawkman-like, definitely a great warrior, and very, very muscular. One of the more muscular characters I have in my story. So let's go. Now I think the way I had it done was the helmet came down like this, because he wears a metallic helmet, and you still see his nose and it was kind of and he had these 3 stars on him. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 1, 2, 3. And I gave him kind of a metallic, the traditional lines like you'd give to Colossus or anyone wearing a metal uniform there. And again, I'm sure this will change. I don't remember the whole costume, so I think it was more metallic wings then, and they just kind of, when I went in this look, I think they kind of came out like so. I think this was the design I did for him. Let's see, George, don't even worry about it. I'll love the characters and can't wait to see these in action in print. You know what? Me neither. I really want to get working on Dax just so I can get to other stories that I have. I have so many ideas in my head, and I just, after after this pandemic happened and all the stuff that happened, whether, with my medical issues, me getting COVID, it really kind of reignited me wanting to produce work. Not that I didn't want to before, but I think you guys all know things that happen to you. If you're a creative person and you're working freelance, you're always kind of wondering where your next job is, and you might take something a little more regular just to help pay the bills when freelance is slow, and then you kind of have this regular gig and money's coming in, and then you may not be looking for freelance because you're tired from the day gig, or you just you don't feel the energy to work because now you got cash coming in, or if you're someone like me, you deal with depression sometimes and anxiety, and that stops you from working too, or you just want to take a break because you're tired, and I've fallen into all those categories: comfortability with work, dealing with anxiety and depression, medical issues, whatever you want to call it. I've dealt with all of them. And I was started to work on things. The pandemic to me was one of the, I don't want to say it was the best thing that happened, because it's not a good thing that happened, but creatively, it was a really good thing for me. And I was in production. I started to do work, and then I got sick. I had COVID. I spent 5 days in the hospital, but I really lost about a good month to 2 months of my life and not working there because of COVID. And then I had to, when the summer came, and I had to take a summer gig to help with the bills. I don't know if I was fully healed from COVID, and I was literally tired. I was traveling to the city 5 days a week. I live near New York City. I'm 15 minutes from it, but where I should be a 15-minute drive to my job, it would turn into a 40-minute commute with traffic there, and over an hour on the way home. And then putting in the full day and getting up at the times, I was so exhausted. I literally would come home, shower, eat dinner, and pass out on the couch. Excuse me. My wife would actually wake me up and say it's time to go to bed, and I was asleep by like 8 o'clock. So when I started feeling better, which I would say was end of September, like feeling like I've been back to normal, I started working. I finished my children's book by the end of November, which should be coming out very, very soon. I have everything all set to go on that. And I kind of put into full gear working with my friend on Dax Photon, and I'm excited to draw it as soon as I get a few projects done first. The paying gigs gotta come first. But I have all these ideas now where I'm just super motivated and just want to constantly be creating. I don't even like to have to leave in the morning to go to my day gig, because I have all this stuff I just want to push out to you guys. It's so when I come home, I literally spend like the rest of my night in my studio, and I'll come home, say 3:30 or whatever. I'll be in here until it's time for dinner. I'll go back in or whatever after, if I have an actual paying gig I got to work on. If not, I'll bring my drawing pad or my Microsoft Surface or my iPad, and I will sit in the living room with my wife, and I'll work while we watch TV. So I'm always kind of working, always creating. It's like nonstop for me, which is not always a good thing. You do need an escape. You do need a break. And what I'm thinking, I'm not really a big time gamer, but I've been thinking about getting a game system so I can kind of escape from drawing. I with my elbow that's bothering me right now, I do need time off from drawing. If it is tennis elbow, it's from overuse. And if you're constantly, hold on, sorry you guys, if you're constantly here with your arm and you're holding a pencil and you're doing these movements and you're going up and down and whatever, you're gonna unfortunately, you're going to hurt yourself. Now, I've had carpal tunnel since I was 16, so my arm's already injured. But I got to push through it. So I need some kind of break outside of drawing. And I normally sit, even if I'm not drawing, I sit with a pen or pencil in my hand just because of the comfort that I have. I need to break free of that. I need to find something that will remove this motion constantly from my hand and my arm. So if I'm holding a handheld console, just doing this, and it's down, and I'm not, jumping around, I'll be fine. So I'm thinking maybe get back into gaming a little bit. Hold on, I got a comment from Joe Ryan. Hey Joe, thanks for watching and listening to this stream. Is very helpful to me because I'm going through depression and anxiety myself. So this does show me I'm not alone in that. I'm sorry you're going through it. It does, it is a crappy thing. There's a lot of us that go through it. I've always said, and I know this doesn't go for everyone, but I've always said you don't become an artist because you're a happy person. You're using it as a way to express yourself, and you're kind of getting your demons out through this expression. Whether you're drawing superheroes, funny stuff, horror, whatever it is, you need a. I think creative people in general who create stories and things have something in them that we need to escape from our reality. So we create these worlds more for us than anyone else. Now, I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but I think everybody I've met personally has something that they're dealing with that they need to escape from. So, I'm going to tell you right now, if you need to find someone to chat with, therapist, friend, whatever, do it. I don't really need that. I know my issues. I know how to deal with them. So there are days where it's worse than others. There are days where I don't have anything to even worry about. I'm feeling great. Everything is amazing. But totally, if you need it, talk to someone, get the help you need, because it is a crappy thing to have to deal with, especially if you're just on your own. And luckily, I haven't had any real issues in a while. I think for the most part, I'm a pretty happy guy with a lot of aspects of my life. And there's other things that help with that get into depression. So anyway, oh, what do you say? My life with an 80s girl helps me cope with it. That's fantastic. That's why we create. I've told people, and I'm going to get going in a minute, but I've told people on my streams many a times that the reason I create art or art helped me get through a lot, because I grew up with medical issues, and needing an escape from knowing about them, having the fear of what's going to happen in my life, having them, all this stuff. Art was my escape. And when I create, I try to create for the people out there, usually kids. That's why I do kid-friendly work. That I'm drawing for that sick kid in the hospital, or whatever, the kid who just needs to escape whatever's going on with them just for 10 minutes or whatever, let's see. It's an empowering story that got me through bed. Oh, sorry to hear, everybody has to deal with breakups. I wrote a story, which I don't think I'll ever draw, that's about a breakup I had. But it got me through it. It was therapeutic for me. And unless someone brings up that person, I don't even think about them anymore. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the drawings. I'll just show them one more time real quick. So these are character ideas I have for future stories. So there's my Hawkman meets Captain America. Who's this one here? This character's called Nightwalker, very Native American that he's like my Dr. Fate. Oh, that was the sketches. That's my right now Blackwing, but he might be name change. Right now, I call her Acrobat. She's basically my Wonder Woman, and then I got Gold Star there, who is my my Superman, and his colors are gold and red. Hers, I don't remember. He's kind of black, yellow, and blue, I believe, in some areas. Whoops. Let me remove that. Nightwalker is more earth tone, and he's kind of, I think he's kind of, I don't even remember. I think he's kind of either gold or silver, or a combination. Joe, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Join me tomorrow on my Saturday morning, my storytelling Saturdays, where I'll be reviewing some one or two comics and web comic I'll be highlighting, and if my friend comes on, we'll have a cool interview, and we'll do some fun storytelling. So you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, guys.